Enormous, hideous monsters have long been excellent material for a filmmaker to create hair-raising experiences. But things get even more terrifying when these monstrous creatures lurk underwater. In these cases, beyond their appearance and strength, these water monsters are frightening because of their mysterious movements. Who knows when they'll surge above the water surface and deliver a fatal bite? How can we stop them in the vast, endless sea? In this video, let's find the answers together by exploring the 8 most terrifying sea monsters ever to appear on screen. Number 1. Clover, a nickname given by fans to the giant sea monster in Cloverfield. Clover has a very long lifespan. Despite living for thousands of years in the deep Atlantic Ocean, it's still just a juvenile. Having consumed large amounts of seabed's nectar, a substance that stimulates cell division and growth, this monster has reached an enormous size with a height of approximately 122 meters. Clover has 4 limbs, each the size of a bus, with the upper limbs longer than the lower ones, along with a tail split into 3 branches. Between its legs are 2 external esophagus used to consume smaller creatures, including humans. Clover's body also houses thousands of dangerous parasitic creatures the size of dogs. Anyone unfortunate enough to be bitten by them will die quickly in an explosive state. After many years in hibernation, this monster was awakened by a submarine sent by the Taguato Corporation to investigate. In its rage and fear, Clover charged up to Manhattan, destroying everything in its path, forcing millions of residents to evacuate urgently. Its skin can strongly withstand projectile weapons. Bullets from various tanks, missiles, or bombs are nothing to this sea monster. To eliminate Clover, the US government resorted to using the hammer-down protocol, sacrificing New York to prevent the threat from spreading to other cities. As a result, the monster was defeated by an airstrike, but Manhattan was completely destroyed. Number 2, the creature from Sea Fever. The next monster on this list also has dangerous parasites, but their existence brings a thought-provoking message in today's world. Released in 2019, director Nyasa Hardiman's film introduced audiences to one of the most benign and harmless sea monsters on screen. Despite its enormous size, this creature shows no aggression or opposition when humans invade its territory. However, don't let its beautiful appearance fool you. This monster can kill enemies without lifting a finger. First, it attaches its tentacles to any area where prey is sheltering. For human ships, it's only a matter of time before the parasites corrode the hull and contact the victim's flesh. After 36 hours, anyone infected develops severe fever and weakening eyesight, followed by worms wiggling in their retinas. When these mature and emerge through the victim's eyes, they explode, leading to excessive blood loss and immediate death. By infiltrating the water supply, these parasites continue to spread from person to person. This situation forces all crew members to struggle with their survival instincts. Will they seek help on land and spread the disease, or choose to stay and die to prevent an immeasurable catastrophe? The existence of the monster in Sea Fever not only initiates a global pandemic, but also challenges ethical values when people decide to put personal gain above the community. Number 3, Gill-man. Next, we come to the ancestor of screen sea monsters, Gill-man. This creature first appeared in Creature from the Black Lagoon. Though not as large and expansive as the Kraken or Clover, it still spreads fear with its hard, scaly skin and fierce, menacing face that looks ready to devour anyone alive. As the title suggests, Gill-man lives in a deep lagoon deep within the Amazon rainforest. It has almost no emotions or understanding and is ready to attack anyone who ventures into its territory. Despite its slender appearance, Gill-man's physical prowess is extraordinary. It can crush human bodies like dolls, punch through diving suits with a single blow, and pull heavy objects through water resistance as if they were feathers. Most frightening is that no one knows where Gill-man came from. Is it an extraterrestrial being, a mistake by the creator, or a failed human experiment? Nobody knows the answer. Perhaps that's why Gill-man is always so unpredictable. Stepping into the pitch-black lagoon requires caution, as under those dark waters, Gill-man might be plotting to punish anyone who irritates it. Thanks to its power and immense influence, Gill-man has become one of the classic monsters of the world, alongside werewolves and Frankenstein. It has also inspired many other memorable characters like Abe Sapien in Hellboy, or the creature in the shape of water. Number 4. Cthulhu. We now come to one of the most famous sea monsters in popular culture, created by horror and science fiction writer H.P. Lovecraft. Cthulhu is a great ancient deity that is hidden beneath the Pacific Ocean since primordial days. Therefore, no civilization that has ever existed can understand the presence of this entity. Humanity only possesses vague records about it as a deity with power and knowledge beyond comprehension. However, in many writers' descriptions of Cthulhu, this ancient deity takes the form of a creature with 4 limbs and dragon-like wings, but with a face resembling an octopus, accompanied by tentacles. Born from the cosmic void and dwelling at the bottom of the ocean, this monster is rumored to have fallen into a deep sleep after hundreds of years of fighting with other ancient gods. However, when civilization began to appear on the blue planet, Cthulhu feared the possibility of territorial invasion by human expansion. From this, the monster used its telepathic abilities to find ways to infiltrate the subconscious through dreams. Here, its sophisticated intelligence overwhelms humans, driving them mad with fear of enormous entities. Nevertheless, the darkness of the ocean, or the threat from the deep, couldn't stop the curiosity of many self-righteous individuals when their drilling rigs were advanced enough to dig deep into Cthulhu's territory. Numerous creatures from the cosmic empire retaliated and killed each member of the expedition. In the final minutes, although the explosion from the energy reactor destroyed all life there, against the enormous power of this supreme entity, all extermination efforts became useless. Perhaps afterward, doomsday for humanity could be counted on one's fingers, just because they didn't understand their mundane limitations. Number 5. The Kraken. Appearing in the second part of the Pirates of the Caribbean film series, the legendary sea monster Kraken made a sea lover like Jack Sparrow too afraid to sail. As Davy Jones's pet, Kraken hunts down and destroys those who bear the black spot under his command. The hunt only ends when the target is dead or when Davy Jones himself removes the mark from them. Shaped like a giant octopus, Kraken can easily break ship masts and sink large vessels with its extremely strong tentacles. The sea monster also has a large mouth full of sharp teeth, just waiting to devour any unfortunate sailor who falls victim. However, the scariest thing about Kraken is its cunning. In the film, Will Turner knows this monster has a habit of wrapping around the ship's hull before attacking, so he commands everyone to use cannons to injure its tentacles, causing it to temporarily retreat. But shortly after, Kraken attacks the ship's compartment and neutralizes the gunners inside, leaving people no time to react. This shows its ability to analyze situations and change tactics extremely quickly. Strong and clever as it was, Kraken still met a tragic end at the hands of its own master. After losing his heart into Lord Cutler Beckett, Davy Jones was forced to kill his pet under the Lord's command. The last image we see of Kraken is its giant carcass lying washed up on a deserted island. Number 6. Bruce the Shark. The great white shark named Bruce in Jaws has sown fear for generations of audiences about what might lurk within the vast seas. With a length of 25 feet and a massive body, this sea monster, named by Steven Spielberg himself, along with its jaw bristling with sharp fangs, has become an immortal icon of popular culture. Unlike other monsters, Bruce doesn't cause much commotion. It quietly hides itself and suddenly finishes off its prey like an excellent assassin. Bruce appears for only 4 minutes in total. Most of its prey doesn't even realize death is near. Just seeing the fin or a strange current approaching is enough to make audiences' hair stand on end. Although based on a real shark species, the outsized sea monster in Jaws isn't actually based on any real-life specimen. So perhaps we don't need to worry about being hunted and killed by a crazed beast. Nevertheless, it's undeniable that director Steven Spielberg created one of the scariest sea monsters ever to appear on screen. People believe that Jaws itself has given everyone a fear of sharks, and even now many people still believe this is a dangerous species to humans. Without thousands of tentacles not featured in legends, and not as grotesque and deformed as some others, Bruce and the film Jaws are living proof that a quality story is enough to keep millions of viewers living in fear. Number 7. Sweet Host, Rogue Crocodile. Unlike the creatures created by imagination that we've discussed above, let's meet Sweet Host, a real crocodile in history, responsible for dozens of boat attacks in Australia during the 1970s. Sweet Host became the inspiration for the film Rogue, released in 2007. Possessing a size of up to 25 feet, this vicious crocodile became a nightmare for tourists stranded on a small island in the middle of the river. Intelligent and cunning, bloodthirsty and cruel, this giant killing machine could be anywhere, waiting to drag unfortunate victims down into the dark waters. Compared to sharks, the most ancient creatures still existing today, crocodiles are mere youngsters in the genealogy of predatory machines. But they are no less dangerous. They have existed for millions of years, walking alongside dinosaurs, becoming representatives of case and mystery from a time when animals survived by fangs and claws that humans cannot imagine. A cow suddenly being dragged underwater, as if boiling with hundreds of bloodthirsty fish, frantically tearing apart the unfortunate victim. Just minutes later, the water becomes calm, and a white skeleton floats up. These are the records of former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt during his Amazon exploration in 1913. By now, you've probably guessed the final sea monster I want to bring to you today, right? That's right, it's the piranha. The film follows character Maggie McKeown as she investigates the disappearance of two teenagers at an abandoned military facility. Here, she accidentally releases mutated piranhas into the river. Things quickly spiral out of control when these bloodthirsty fish begin attacking unfortunate tourists at a nearby resort. Drawing inspiration from Steven Spielberg's work, the film directed by Joe Dante quickly spread terror to audiences. Despite a production budget of just $700,000, the film grossed over $2 million in ticket sales, helping make Piranha one of the scariest sea monsters ever to appear on screen. That's also why this film is included in the list of 8 scariest underwater creatures in cinema that we want to introduce to you. Though not as powerful as monsters on land, sea monsters have the ability to hide themselves, creating moments of suspense and tension no less intense. What do you think of this list? Would you like to add any other names? Don't forget to leave your comments below. For now, goodbye and enjoy your movies. And remember to keep it back on the water when you go swimming.